Live and local, it's the Tribe Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
We're going to head to the Bay Area now. Although, Jay, I'm a little concerned because I get the sense that about 80% of Bay Area sports fans today, for some reason, are in mourning over the fact that Marco Luciano is now a Pittsburgh Pirate. So I hope Rod Brooks is well enough to talk to us when the whole Bay Area is dealing with that tragedy. How are you, Rod?
Yeah, man, it's a rough time down here, dog.
Yeah.
Everybody's either sounding like a bunch of owls going "who" like Jay did, or they're like, "Oh, Marco Luciano, he's still on the team. Like he was still available to actually be waived."
Right.
Yeah. It's I don't know why they thought he was a shortstop, but yeah, this is Buster is in charge of changing things. So yeah, that needed to be happening. Can I say this though, as I grab the wheel and
please
yank it 90 degrees?
Do your thing.
Yeah.
I feel like I can say this with great confidence. I don't do radio any longer as a full-time job, but I still check it out and I still know how it operates. There's not a show in the country that comes back from break with some Teddy Pendergrass in the middle of the afternoon.
Come on now, Rod.
Come on.
You got to separate yourself, baby.
Somebody loves you back. Oh, my God. Come on, son.
Hey, Rod, I'm just saying, man, you know what? If you want to keep a vanilla, go to the other places, man. You know what? We sprinkle some of them black beans in our vanilla,
Man, the sun's still up, my brother.
Well, look, I didn't go to romantic. It's close, but it's more like feel good barbecue song, compared to turn off the lights and love TKO.
You got kids in the car with their mamas coming home from school, and you throwing Teddy Pendergrass at them at 3 in the afternoon on a Friday. I just want to acknowledge. Man, I'm not judging. I just want to
absolutely. There's a reason why those kids are there, sir.
Yeah, Jay is always taking it to another level, but especially on Fridays, Rod. And I know you join us on Fridays, so you get the very, very, very best of Jay as far as that goes. Can I ask you a football question?
Please.
To what extent, Jay and I had this conversation yesterday, to what extent is grabbing the 1 seed in the NFC actually in play for the 49ers at this point?
I mean, the fact it's slim, but the fact that it is in play is wild. I was just talking about this. We do a show on YouTube, 49ers Now, every Monday and Friday at 2 o'clock, if you're interested, brought to you by NBC Sports Bay Area. And we were just talking about the Niners so far and what can happen. You lose Purdy for a while, Kittle, you lose Bosa and Warner. Okay. So it's not just a number of injuries, it's the injuries to cornerstone players. All right. And for the Niners, who have had instances during the season because of injuries where they could have folded, just to use that term, and the fact that they didn't, and they're in a position now to where they're almost guaranteed the playoffs. I mean, they have a high 80% chance of making the playoffs. Beat Tennessee, you're basically guaranteed a spot, but they could go for more. That's an amazing thing when you really think about it. And that is on the strength of a lot of things. But the 4-1 record in the division, and it started week 1 in Seattle when Brock Purdy did get hurt, but they finished that game off with that touchdown pass to Jake Tonjes. That 4-1 division record, and 8-2 against NFC competition. And you add that into the mix with the fact that it's anybody's Super Bowl to play in and win in both conferences, in my estimation. All of the NFC division races are still up for grabs. And because of that parity, the Niners being in the mix for a number 1 seed, now things have to happen. The Rams, they've got a couple of tough ones against Seattle and Detroit coming up in a 4-game span. Seattle's going to have to see the Rams. There's a couple of more games. Green Bay, I think, has a couple. The NFC North, there's going to be some headbangers between the Bears and the Lions and the Packers. So I don't have all the machinations in front of me. So things have to work right. The right teams have to lose, and it's a number of the right teams have to lose for the Niners to get into the mix. But for the Niners to have 9 wins, have a very winnable game against Tennessee coming up after this bye week, an Indianapolis team coming up that's not as good as they once were earlier this season. Chicago, to me, is going to be the real test because of what they have with their offensive line and their run game. And I think the one still Niners weakness is their run defense until proven otherwise. But that Chicago game is a winnable game for the Niners, with it being at home, although it's going to be coming off of a short week because the Indy game is a Monday night game. And then you got week 18, which could mean just playoff seeding for the Niners. It could mean winning the NFC West. And it could mean possibly being the number 1 seed in the NFC if all of those things break right for the Niners. The fact that we're having this conversation and all of that just tumbled out of my mouth is the wildest thing. That's wild.
Yep.
You aren't alone, though, because Robert Saleh said to Matt Mayoko kind of the same thing. He talked about hosting the Super Bowl and 49ers being in there to Josina Anderson, excuse me. And it blew my mind. I was like, wait a minute.
I always get those two mixed up.
Yeah, I do. Me too. Yeah. Hence why we call you Whitey, right? Yeah. Right.
But I mean, no, like they could be the 7th seed. Let's just say it stays static. They could be the 7th seed. They could go on the road for the entirety of the playoffs, win those games, and then come back home and host the Super Bowl. Come on.
Speaking it to fruition, right? I like where you're going. RB, what did this team look to get better at during the latest bye week that you possibly could be? I would imagine it was injuries, your Tua Gross-Matos, Eddie De Niro Pinheiro. Beside that, what was the focus for this squad in their bye week?
I would think, well, like I said, to me, their run defense, that is the only thing I believe it's going to stop them from doing something really special. And not just in the playoffs, it could, as I said, it could hamper them coming up here against the Bears if the Colts decide that they want to use Jonathan Taylor again, which they seem to, and I know teams game plan for that, but they seem to have gotten away from that over the last couple of weeks. The Niners could, if their run defense does not get better, they could lose those 2 games or at least split with Indianapolis and Chicago on the fact that their run defense is not where I believe it needs to be with what they're doing on both sides of the ball and including special teams. But I think for the Niners, it's just about sort of maintaining and refining what they have. But if you want to nitpick, to me, run defense, and I think they're 26th in rushing. Now, the Eagles, just to use them as an example, to cherry pick and make my point, the Eagles are not running the ball very well. I think the Eagles are 25th or 24th in rushing. As I mentioned, the Colts, not as robust as they had once been on the ground. So I guess it happens to the best of them. But if we're talking bigger picture and we're talking making a long run, Niners got to get better run defense-wise. They've got to find a way to get a traditional run game going. But they haven't had one all year, and it hasn't stopped them yet. So.
Rod, Joe Burrow, according to Jamar Chase, he just compared him to Captain America. So if we go quarterbacks as superheroes, is Brock Purdy Batman because he doesn't have the superpowers, but he's got all the toys like, McCaffrey's a Batmobile and Kittle is this and that. And, I mean, is Brock Purdy kind of, because he's using his mind, would Batman be a superhero?
What we tell you, Rod, you're not going to get these questions from nobody else.
That's an excellent question.
Man.
I mean, I can't disagree with the premise. I will say, though, that, listen, Mac Jones, Eddie Pinheiro, and others, Kyle Shanahan, Robert Saleh, special teams coach Brant Boyer, and a host of players are the reasons why the Niners have won 9 games. But to me, the big one that no one talks about, and knock on wood, it stays this way, is that Christian McCaffrey, the Niners being as injured as they are and losing the frontline players that they have, the fact that Christian McCaffrey has been healthy all year long is the reason why the Niners are in this position that they're in right now. But Brock Purdy, then Brandon Ayuk, and he ain't coming back. So if y'all were going to, it's a wrap. It's over.
Yeah.
No Brandon Ayuk. George Kittle was out for 4 or 5 weeks with that hamstring injury. Ricky Pearsall out for a long time, and they have yet to get that connection going. And again, no traditional run game. Brock Purdy, while he has definitely been the beneficiary of having great players around him, and I think the Batman analogy works, I think Brock Purdy, small sample size, but I think Brock Purdy has shown that he is more than just a guy who is distributing to these great players. He is a very good quarterback in this league. There are better, not too many. There are many that are worse behind him on that list. And I think also it's proven that the Niners are more than just we have this super team. They are truly this year what they've been able to craft due to injuries and circumstances. They truly are greater than the sum of their parts. And Brock Purdy has also proven, as we saw in the game where he threw 3 interceptions, when he tries to do too much because he doesn't have all those weapons around him, or he's feeling some type of way about where things are in that game. The Panthers game is one we're talking about. When he tries to do too much, he gets himself in trouble. So there's good and there's bad. But that Batman analogy is very solid. I mean, I'm, as a nerd, I'm running through lists of superheroes in my mind, and put it this way, he ain't no Aquaman. He's not out there just talking to fish.
A lot of people say, that he has his detractors who would say, yeah, he's Aquaman, but he's not. He's the Dark Knight.
No, to me, he showed what I was so impressed about against Cleveland. It was not the plays that he made. And he made a good amount of plays. He made some throws. There was one throw from the right hash mark all the way out past the numbers to the sidelines. Okay, that's dink and dunk. No arm is not going to make that throw. What I loved about the way Brock Purdy played was his decision-making, which was what I didn't like against the Panthers. The passes were late against the Panthers. The passes, they got picked, the 2 out of the 3. The first 2 out of the 3, they were late, they were inaccurate, but to me, that was because of bad decision-making in the pocket. Next game against the Browns, with Myles Garrett staring at you, coming at you, I thought Brock Purdy getting rid of the ball 7 times as he did. That's the most he's thrown the ball away this season. That was great decision-making. More than that, his decision-making in the pocket was brilliant. And this is quarterback play that kind of gets nerdy, but it goes beyond numbers. Even though numbers are important, touchdowns, yards per attempt, all this stuff is important. But Brock Purdy moving in the pocket, moving laterally, not being a statue there for Myles Garrett to tee off on, moving up in the pocket, knowing when to run, knowing when to get rid of the ball. That decision-making was top 10, top 6 quarterback level in my estimation. And that goes beyond the numbers, because if you look at the numbers, they weren't all that great.
What grade do you give him for his Dougie?
Hey, listen, man, as somebody who can't dance, we got to give it up when the white boys got motion.
That's right.
Dog.
Come on now.
We got to give it up, man. I mean, we can't be hating when our white brothers are out there putting it down. You just
gotcha.
Appreciate it, right, Jay? I mean,
invited to the barbecue, family. Why do you know?
Just don't bring that nasty potato salad.
Nah, we don't need no raisins in that, man. We don't need no raisins in that, family.
I'm not even sure that's a raisin, but I won't get into that.
Tatum Bethune, an update on the Mad Backer?
I don't know if he's going to be ready for next week. And here's the thing: the Cowboys are number 1 on my hate list. The Titans are right behind them. With my Houston ties,
of course,
they don't need Tatum Bethune to beat the Titans. So one more week of rest, I think, is what's going to be in order. But you mentioned Pinheiro, more than likely is going to come back, and YGM, Yetur Gross-Matos, is another guy. So those are the guys you're looking for. But Bethune is just my guess. I don't think he's going to be active for the game next Sunday.
Yeah, I know anything can happen in an NFL game, but this is about as close as you can get to a double bye for the 49ers, really.
Very good
that
point.
said, Kyle Juszczyk with broken ribs. If he can't play, hopefully he can. How do the 49ers compensate for that?
That's the trick because against Cleveland, even though they're the Browns, much better team defensively than the Titans. Kyle Juszczyk was instrumental in terms of what they do, in terms of moving him around to see what the if for those who don't know, guy goes in motion. If a player goes with him, that tells the quarterback, that tells you that that's man coverage. If no one goes with the guy in motion, that tells you it's zone coverage. So not having Kyle Juszczyk, if he is unable to play against Tennessee, it puts him in a bind, I guess, to use that term, just because he's the guy that tells you what the motion is. And also he's a very good football player as well. I think Purdy's first pass was to Juszczyk in the Cleveland game, a nice gain to get them started. So you're losing a very good football player, a guy that's instrumental to their offense, but losing him is not necessary. You can't replace him because they don't have another fullback on the roster. And there's not another guy that does what Juszczyk does. But against Tennessee, it's not going to kill you if you don't have him.
Right. Upton Stout to me has played his way into this guy's going to be on the field for the most part. I think coming into the season, we looked around at the defensive backfield and said Malik Mustafa is one safety and the other, as we know, that played out early in the season, we don't know. There's three guys vying for one spot. With that being said, has Jair Brown kind of solidified himself as this the guy moving forward?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
For sure, 100%. And not just on the strength of his 2 interceptions against Carolina, just his overall play.
Yeah.
He's gotten – I still think they're weak tackling-wise. They missed too many tackles for my taste. But he's gotten better tackling. He's gotten better in the pass game as well. And I think, with Fred Warner going down and then losing Tatum Bethune, Jair Brown sort of organizing things in that defensive backfield has been really, really, really big. And credit to Jair Brown, losing his job at the beginning of the season, but, staying in there, staying focused, not getting in his feelings, putting in the work. So when his number is called once again, he gets back in that spot and he's not losing that spot. So I think one of the, quiet as kept, one of the big things for the Niners is getting, that safety tandem nice and buttoned up as the Niners, again, deal with injuries. And it's talking about Fred Warner, to where you don't, it's not as big of a worry as it once had been not too long ago.
Catching up, of course, with Rod Brooks, 49er analyst, NBC Sports Bay Area. I want to ask you about Jauan Jennings and what, if anything, you can tell us about what he's been saying that's been irritating other players. And I also want to ask, is Mayoko the member of your team who's most likely to speak that way to members of other NBC networks around the country?
See, here's the thing about Mayoko, and he's got Northern California fooled. Okay.
Yeah.
He's professional, professorial.
Yes.
Just
congenial.
A congenial, a buttoned up journalist. Without reproach. All right. And then behind the scenes, just like he's like our Chris Paul.
Wow.
You know what I mean? But we're not soft like the Clippers. So,
you're not going to ship them out at midnight.
We're not going to ship him out. But yeah, man, Mayoko can be, dog. Man, he talk real heavy. So yes, he is our Jauan Jennings. I wish I knew what Jauan Jennings got these folks saying, because for a game as violent as football, where you can get your lick back legally, right? It's in the rule books.
Right.
Like a guy says something foul to you, next play, you get to actually hit them, within a certain parameter of rules that have been set. For a guy to say something, to have people in back-to-back weeks want to kill him, I think it goes beyond, your mama's so fat she sweat gravy. Like I can't even imagine what he's saying.
Yeah.
I don't know what I could say to I honestly don't know what I could say to somebody that would have them punch me right in the in the soft spot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you.
I don't know, Jay. I don't know what I could say to you.
Yeah.
That would make you go, I'm gonna hit this dude with cameras around. High definition, 8K cameras.
4K.
Yeah.
I don't know what I could say to somebody that would make them punch me in the baby maker. I literally cannot fathom it. So once I find out, I will pass it along to you. I will clearly have to clean it up because I'm assuming there's some naughty words in there. But yo, man, I do think though it's not just what he says. It's what he does over the course of the 60-minute football game combined with what he's saying. And so probably as I kind of do the math here in my head, he's probably not saying anything that wild, but when somebody has been leaning on you for 60 minutes of a football game, 3 hours in real time, you just don't want to hear a damn thing that comes out of their mouth. And it might be something as simple as, how's your wife and my kid?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be. I have no clue. I've seen Shelby. He jumped on another podcast, I believe, earlier today or yesterday. And I was like, you know what? Skip. I'm not even listening to it. I'm just keep scanning at this point. Something a great follow you on Twitter, Rob, man. I have been compelled just as much as you are about the Steph Curry shoe free agency. Like,
best thing about the Warriors
man,
season.
it is cooking. It is cooking. I'm telling you, man. Shagnosis, the Li-Ning, the Batman. Speaking of Batman, he had the Jimmy Butlers on, Sabrina's. Like, what is Steph doing? Because you know he's already probably had 46 meetings by now. You know there's been 37 offers by every shoe company in the world. What do you think Steph is doing? Is he just wants to be, courted? What do you think Steph doing?
He's living out every sneakerhead's fantasy. If I could do it, I would do it.
I would do it too.
I would. He's the most attractive free agent in the NBA. And he's obviously a shoe free agent, not a player free agent, but he's the most attractive free agent in the NBA. And he knows clearly he's been a sneakerhead his entire life. And he's getting the stun on folks.
Yeah.
He's getting the flex on folks. And what I love about it is, and this is how you know he's a sneakerhead, he's a nerd. Is that how intentional he is with it.
Yep.
He's not just wearing the kicks, which would make perfect sense. But for him to understand, when they played Utah and he wore the flu games. And then he wore the last shots.
Right.
He wore the flu games, into the game.
Walking in,
And then he wore the last shots to warm up. Like, yo, that's dope. So I mean, I think more than anything, he's having fun. And yeah, he's living a sneakerhead's best life for sure. It's so dope to see, man.
We'll let you go with this one, and I apologize because I just thought of this. Had I thought of it sooner, I would have given you a heads up on it so you could have thought about it. If you don't have an answer, we'll get it from you whenever. You being so musically inclined, is there a song or an album that you would say kind of summarizes or speaks to how the 49ers season has gone so far? And like I say, I know that's a lot to just dump on you. So if you need time to think about it, text us or let us know whenever. But I would be really interested to know with your, your expertise, what would come to mind there.
Man, that is a really, really, man, you hit me with the.
And as I say, it's not fair. I know. That's why I take your
love
time.
Body blows.
I absolutely love it, though. Boy, let me think about that.
Yes,
absolutely. Let me put some thought over the weekend. Let me get a couple of
sure.
Let me get a couple of Space Dust IPAs in my system.
Through Shirley Temples?
Yeah. Wink. Yeah,
I totally understand. Yeah, and I apologize for that. I apologize for springing out of here, but it just popped in my head. So
I love it. I got to say it. I hope you guys know, but I will say it. I dig all of these that we do, man, and I've loved them last year. I'm loving them this year, man. This just because I just feel like we're just sitting here just rapping. I forget that you guys are actually doing a radio show. I'm just in the crib, just kicking it.
A little real fast because Whitey lied. Because I'm gonna ask you one more. I am kind of on a not Christmas music exodus in the fact that I'm not going to play Christmas music all month. I'm not doing it.
Thank you.
Very selective.
I'm very selective. So I've chosen to play a Christmas song, one Christmas song per day, per show, right? Doesn't matter how long. It's a 4 hours or 2 hours. We playing one. But we had a conversation last week, and because you are musically inclined, when is the proper time to play Christmas music? Can you get away with it pre-Thanksgiving, or do you need to hold your horses?
No, those people are animals. Okay, these I like Christmas music, or I'll listen to it before Thanksgiving, or I'll listen to it any time of year. Those are the people that are the problem in our country. Okay,
so it's not us; it's them.
Oh yeah, 100%. Those people are animals. And okay, am I not a Christmas music fan? Absolutely. Can I tell you what bothers me about Christmas music?
Uh-oh.
Sleigh bells. If you Christmas, I cannot hear ching ching ching. I cannot hear sleigh bells for 8 weeks. All right, and seemingly every damn Christmas song, even commercials on television. What do you hear? Sleigh bells. It's like it's nails on a chalkboard.
Especially, Rod, because you listen to Jingle Bells. There's nothing in that song about Christmas. Nothing.
Nothing. So it drives me crazy. So while I'm not a complete Grinch, to me, once you get to like December 15th, like, okay, now you can turn on, the All Christmas channel, or, now you can play the traditional music. But man, like this time of year, like going at it full throttle, I think those people are mentally ill.
Man.
Just so, like anything else in my life, it's always somebody else's problem, not mine.
Quite a performance today. Yeah, thank you so much, Rod. Yeah, enjoy your bye week.
Yes,
we look forward to your answer whenever you come up with one. We appreciate your time, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, man. Love you, fellas. Y'all
Appreciate
take care.
you,
Have a
Thank
great weekend.
Oh, we had some fun today, Jay.
Yes, sir. Come on now.
You know,
I didn't even ask him about Costco.
I know.
Did you see him tweet about Costco?
I don't know that I did.
Oh, yeah. We got to ask him about Costco. RB is a Costco guy, a legend, Costco, but he's always talking about the crowds. Yeah, he's always talking about the Costco crowds.
Yeah. Getting back to Brock Purdy and Batman, I think
that was a good pick.
I appreciate that. I think Tyrese Halliburton actually called him Batman once because he said on campus, but I think he said we never saw him or something like that.
Okay.
We never saw him. He was like Batman, but he has been compared to Batman before.
I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah. When we come back, I know a lot of fans want to sit all the Kings veterans, but the league does do things to prevent that. We'll tell you what they are next on Sactown Sports.
A Sacramento tradition continues.